Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? It's time to take a look at some of my opinions. Take a look at some of my opinions? That's not a thing, is it? It's time to listen to some of my opinions. I watched one of Sage's recent videos, and that was about his complaints and or things he'd like to see in the game. And I noticed not very many of mine overlapped with his, so I thought I'd give my opinion too. Specifically because I have so much experience through gacha games, like so much. I've played almost all of the good ones for like an extensive period of time, and I still play a couple of the really popular ones that I feel like there's a lot of things that could be done slightly differently that would make this game just exponentially better. So the first one I'm going to talk about, and I had no order to this, I'm just gonna kind of rant on and ramble on as I always do. And this one reminded me of this because of this unit right here that I'm circling. And can I say how much I love that you guys can see my circling here? It's just such a fantastic little thing that helps streamers and everything like that. So, my problem with these seasonal units is their weapon is always amazing. It's always my favorite part about them. One of my favorite parts about them. But let's take a look at good old Corrin. Female Corrin here, Inner Sea Life Tome. Grants allies within 2 spaces, 1 attack, and 1 speed during combat. That's just not good. Nowhere near good. It's 12 attack. So let's look at Delphia's here. Hers is 14 attack, grants adjacent allies, and granted it's a lot more specialized, plus 6 attack. So it's also got 2 more base attack than hers. So this, in essence, makes me want to use Summer Corrin much less, simply because, like I said, one of the reasons why I love these units is their weapon. It brings out what's part of them, especially the animations in-game. They're just amazing. And this one specifically because I think the art on her book is just fantastic, and if you look inside, you can even see fish and everything. It's just perfect. So taking this weapon away from her is just really, really sad. So one of the main things I want is some form of glamour if you're a Final Fantasy XIV player, or transmogrification costume. I don't know what games call it now, for weapons. And this is specifically to help with units like this. So how it would work, and there's many different ways it can work. So how I want this to work, say Corrin here has a Blade Tome on. You'd be able to use the Blade Tome stats, but have the Sea Life Tomes looks. The person that would see you in arena or something like that would see that it said Blade Tome with a star on it or something like that, and that star would show that it was transmogrified or glamoured, or however you want to say it. What this would do is this would allow you to use a lot more units that are seasonal for people like me who really like the connection style of things, and keep their main weapon. For example, Carrot Lance, there's just every single one of them, they're all underwhelming. There is virtually none that are actually good. We took off the Cupid Arrow too. I would love to be able to show this on her instead of her Brave Bow Plus. And not only does the special weapon like this look much better than a Brave Bow, but the thing with Brave Bow and weapons like that is everybody has the same one. So all your units end up looking the same, attacking the same, animations look the same. It just isn't fun to me. So that's one of my biggest complaints, and one of the biggest things that keeps me from having fun with my seasonal units. Because like they're just all not good. So let's move on to the next thing. I have mentioned this before in a whole other video where I go completely in depth. And I will link that in the description below. I made it when I was first starting streaming, so maybe people didn't watch it, or they didn't agree with it or something like that. But I can link it there, and this talks about the shop. Specifically purchasing orbs. This is all you can purchase in this game, and this just doesn't make sense to me. You should be able to purchase more. These should be fun. They shouldn't be straight orbs. There should be something else, even if it's really small, added on to your purchase. Not only that, but there are no additional things per account. Most gacha games have a starter pack or a intermediary pack or a expert pack or some sort of one-time purchase thing that can be used on your account that grants you much better power or value for what you buy. So for example, your your pack that is your starter pack would give you 75 orbs for 30 bucks. Just as a complete example, it can change dramatically, but just something like that that really entices people to want to spend, even if it's only their one purchase. And a lot of people will only buy these starter packs, and because there are no starter packs, there are a lot of people who just don't spend money on this game because there's nothing that that they can't pass on buying, if that makes any sense. And as we all know, the more people that spend on Fire Emblem Heroes, the better the game we get in the end. Hopefully, anyway, assuming they stay on their kind of straight arrow way of not extorting us for our money. So that is huge, and I did a whole video on it, and like I said, the goal of this is to make purchasing orbs fun in a way, and it's harder to do now because there's not many things you want. Like, you could add, you could make a pack that gives you orbs per day instead of a flat amount of orbs at once, and that goes over a, let's see here. So giving this 48 one as example, you could pay 37 bucks to get, X amount of orbs over a month. So it would be a better rate than this. You would get more than 48. You'd get like 60 orbs or something like that, but it would be over a month and you get it as a daily login thing. That's another thing a lot of apps use. Instead of the instant gratification, you get stuff that's monthly, which is better value. Like I said, I'm rambling on, but the point is something fun, something better value, and something that really entices people to purchase. So the next thing is, and I think Sages mentioned this, and this is why I'm bringing it up, because it just makes so much sense. I can't remember if it was Sages or somebody else in my Discord or something like that. But banners like this are amazing. They get people to spend, which is fantastic. They're fun. They bring unique units into the game. But the problem is the 3% appearance rate I just don't think is fair at this point. We know that they're willing to give out 5% appearance rates on Hero Fest. So I really think the specialized limited time only units should really be 5%. It makes such a big difference, and that 2% is huge, especially for free-to-play players, especially for pay-to-win players. Like, I am 800-ish, maybe 850, 900 orbs on this banner, and I'm missing 2 of them still. So I can't imagine how a lot of free-to-play players even get 1 of them. Obviously, you get lucky, and I don't, but that's another thing. So I think 5% on these banners would really help entice people wanting to pull on them and really feeling better about pulling them, and that's the important part. I don't think they would lose too much money by doing this, simply because I just don't think they will lose too much. I think it almost might even gain them some, because if they're 5%, people will want to whale more. So I think it would really balance out. That's another really big change I think would really, really be beneficial. I don't know if they do it, but I hope so. And the next part, this little building down here, I don't even know who's on my friends list anymore. By the way, if you would like to be on my friends list, I don't even know what the buttons do. I can't find them. I have my thing here somewhere. If you would like to be on my friends list, you can add me here, and let me know you added me in the comments below, and I will add you. Because in the future, this will be used for something, but as of now, it's just not nothing at all. I really will delete a bunch of people because I have a ton of people who just don't play anymore. But friends list needs to be changed. There needs to be something more fun, something better, something cooperative, something we can use other people's units, kind of like the whatever's coming up right now. I forget the name of it. It's on the screen there. It's on the screen right there. The 4x4 battle. Why can't I remember the name of it? Either way, voting gauntlet. Like that. But there needs to be more of it, and it needs to be more important. Tied to the friends list, there needs to be some sort of guild system, but I don't know how that's going to work in this game. Most games have a chat system, but this game just doesn't. They try to keep it a single player experience, but I really think there needs to be a guild system. I'm positive they're working on it. It's a cornerstone of every mobile gacha game, so they've got to be working on something. I'm just wondering how they're working on it and what they're doing, and how long it'll take to get to us. I would love to make a guild with all of our community here, and I would love to have fun with everybody and compete against other guilds and all that. It's really important it's done right too, because so many guilds in gacha games are done horribly wrong. Tied to the guilds, another thing, actually this isn't tied to the guilds, it can be actually, but arena is another thing I think should be slightly changed. And I'm not sure how, but I think something should be changed with the point system. I really am a fan of these bonus heroes. I love how they entice you to use something different each time. That's amazing. I love that part of it. But what I don't like is not being able to use the units I want. So if I want to use the units I like and I want, I'm just unable to. You just cannot do it. It's not possible unless they are insanely merged, which not everybody can do. So if you are a free-to-play player and you have no merges, and you're trying to compete for tier 4 or tier 14, what am I talking about? Tier 20 or something like that, you just really can't do it without limiting your hero choice. You have to use people with high BST. You have to give stuff wrong skills in quotes because you need their points to be higher, and overall it just pigeonholes things. So I would like a different matchmaking system, specifically something that kind of rewards skill a bit more. I don't know if that's possible in this style of game, but I would love it, and I'd love for something like that. And the same thing goes with Arena Assault, how they're based on points, but not as much. I do love Arena Assault, just as a side note. It's really frustrating to play, but I absolutely love it. It's allowed me to use so many more units. And obviously, too, with Arena, one of the things we all want to see, and we are all hoping for, hopefully anyway, is actual PvP Arena, where each person controls their phase and each person plays. It's one of those things where I didn't think it was really possible in gacha games because I'd just never seen it done before, but Summoners War recently did something where you play 1v1 and it works out great. It's a little frustrating at times because a lot of the monsters in that game are broken for manual play, but I do think it would work really well here, and that would be a really good way to fix the bonus point problem I was talking about earlier. Finally, one more thing. There's a ton of things that I would change, by the way, but I'm just what's coming to mind right away is what I'm trying to talk about. My other issue is the rate of 5 stars we have right now. We just have so many of them, and it obviously needs to change, hopefully. Specifically, there's just so many units that are not good for anything and have no reason being 5-star. Their stats aren't good, their abilities aren't good, they have no fodder, and I think that's a big one. I feel like these units here, like the healers, would be okay if they had some fodder to give. That would be fantastic. I got a 5-star Rebecca, and like, look at her skills here. She's got a silver bow. Like, congratulations, Rebecca, that's just a great bow. Darting Blow, I mean, you can get that from 4 stars so easily, and Seal Attack. Just zero use in skill inheritance and zero use in combat. Stuff like that shouldn't really exist, I don't think, and I think if there's ever a unit that fits that particular status where they're not used for insanely good skill inheritance or they're not used for battle really, then I really think they should be on a 4-star level. We can look at a couple others too, because I have had a lot of bad luck, as you guys have all known. And Perry's another one. She has Killer Lance Plus, not really useful. Resistance, Threat and Defense, which is fantastic, but it comes at 4-star. So again, another 5-star that just will not get skill inherited. There's Claire I got, same thing. She's got Hit and Run, which I believe is a 4-star. I'm not entirely certain because I don't use any flyers, but it has to be a 4-star ability somewhere. And there's one more. There is Lucas here, and he has, what, Killer Lance Plus, congratulations again. Fortress Defense, and Obstruct. So just a bunch of useless 5-stars that aren't really good in their own right and have no skill inheritance fodder. So it would be fantastic if they really did a big change in the near future where they upgraded or downgraded a bunch of things, specifically down to 4-star, and maybe downgraded a bunch of 4-star onlys down to 3-star, simply because our 3-star pool is obviously getting pretty small at this point. One last thing before we go here is I would love something to be done with IVs. There's a couple requests, and the first one is obviously some way to change them. I thought Sacred Seals, when they came out, would eventually be used to change IVs. You wouldn't be able to choose which IV you change to. Like if I was to use a item to change the IV on my Robin, I wouldn't be able to choose plus attack minus resistance, for example. I would have to choose Robin specifically, and then it would re-roll it. That way you can't just choose what you want. I would also like it if they were free-to-play friendly, but at the same time we were talking about packs earlier and how We can buy different things for packs for orbs as well. It'd be really nice to be able to pull to attach something that rerolls IVs onto a pack of orbs, for example. And that's another thing that would entice people to play, because they'd get to change their IVs of their units that they can't get anymore. And that's the big one that frustrates me, is units like Robin I just can't get anymore, so I can't fix her IVs. I don't remember what her IV, it might be good, but I'm just using seasonal units as an example. And speaking of not remembering her IVs, that's the other part that I would love to change. I would love to see like a blue and a red on whatever's good and bad, or some sort of good color and some sort of bad color, showing that stats are different, and would be better for new players too, because I have people ask me, they post a picture of their level 20 Crom in Discord, and I'm like, I can't help you there. There's nothing I can do to tell you what skill it is, or what their boon and bane is, so they have to get it all the way to 4 to be able to figure it out, and that's just not cool. I feel like, especially as a Nintendo game, it should be really intuitive. It should be visually there, and you should be able to see it. So I feel like that's something that's definitely going to change in the future. We will see the 32 in green and the 29 in red, for example. Just like, I think Pokemon does it now too. I don't remember if they do anymore. It's been a while since I've really played Pokemon, but that's the general idea. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. That's my really short or long wish list of things I would like to see in this game. I think they'd all be fantastic for the game, and a lot of them wouldn't change too much, specifically the minor tweaks like the IV change, and I think that would be really, really beneficial to the game. So yeah, thanks you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if I missed anything, if there's anything specific you would like to see, or if you disagree or agree with anything. Have a great day, and see everybody next time.